Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void were prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
In the year 247, in the age of judges, Vartan was summoned home by a letter stating that his father had died under mysterious circumstances. Upon returning home, Vartan opened his mind to the possibility that his father's death, and his hometown of Eterno, was not everything that it appeared to be. Welcome to Ethereal Embrace. I'm Baya, and did you know that in most lands, information gained from informal questioning is not admissible in a trial against you? Keep that in your back pocket.
Day 4. Morning. Kiirion's home. So you guys wake up the next morning, and unlike yesterday morning, it's not rainy. It is a beautiful day outside. And you can hear the birds chirping, and it's nice, and the sun is just coming up as you guys get up, because we agreed that you guys all wake up early.
Mm-hmm.
You had a few different options for the day that you guys wanted to take a look into. So where did we land on how we would like to begin day 4?
I do believe that we were going to go talk to Emery.
Yeah, I was the only person we hadn't talked to.
Yeah. Well, because we know that they had something to do with this, and they surely would have more information, yeah?
Yeah, at the very... Emery made all the tunnels under the city, so she's at least seen the symbols, whether or not she knows what they are.
Surely she would have asked what she was doing all of this for.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys get up and go grab some breakfast. Nothing happens, or do you guys just go straight to Emery, or
think straight to Emery?
Yeah, and then we can talk to Cody while we are waiting on food after.
All right, so you guys get up and you go into town, and you can tell that the hustle and bustle around the bricks has already started up as you guys approach. I mean, the bricks are only 5 buildings down from you, so it's not a very long walk. You come out, and you can smell the bread is baking in the bakery. You can hear the blacksmith hitting on some ironwork, and different businesses are doing different things. And you come up to the Arcanist shop, and Emery is actually in her shop right now working on mixing just a couple of batches of something that she's putting together in like a big bowl. It was a couple splashes of this, a couple splashes of that. So when you come in, it smells very fruity in the air of the shop as you walk in.
Would Baya know what that would be?
Make an Arcana check.
Or what type of smells or spells smell fruity? 16.
Yeah, so with a 16, you could kind of get a hint of it. And you can tell that it is some kind of restorative potion that she's working on.
Well, I guess Baya will greet her first Well, hello, Emery. How are you doing today?
Oh my God, is that Vartan? Vartan, you're wonderful. You're beautiful. Look at you. Get over here.
Oh.
And she puts out her. She's a half elf, so she's like smaller than Vartan is, but she puts her arms out for a hug before she even walks around the edge of the table. Yeah, she didn't even realize that you were in the room until you spoke up. So now that she sees you, she walks around the counter fully ready for an embrace.
Oh, hey, Emery. How you been?
I've been doing so well these last few days. Oh my goodness, look at you. You are huge. Were you always this huge? Beautiful. You're beautiful.
Oh, what's been happening the last couple days?
Oh, I've been busy. Things have been crazy since your father passed, and then I had to go and had to work on his house. It was keeping me busy, and now, these monsters are coming. I hate the monsters, but it really gives me a good amount of time to work on my potions, some new potions I haven't done in quite some time to help the city god out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I reckon so.
So what can I do for you? What brings you in, hon?
Bye. What were you gonna ask?
Sorry. Oh, honey, what kind of potion are you brewing? It smells fruity. Is that a resto potion?
Oh, it is? That's very intuitive of you. Yes, I'm putting something together to help fight off any kind of poisons. I heard that there might have been some poison in the area after some of the monster attacks, so I'm putting this together for the gods. Do you want to look at it?
Yeah, maybe in a moment. I do have some questions for you, though. You have some time.
Go ahead, sweetie. Shoot, I'm going to get back to work on this potion while we talk, though. You don't mind, do ya? No, you don't.
Correct. I do not. So, what was your relationship with Kiirion?
Oh, with Kiirion? Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, we were good friends. To be honest, I think he was a little sweet on me. She gives you a little smile.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't be? You're adorable.
Right?
Yes. Okay. Were you working on anything with Kiirion before he passed?
Oh, we had a few projects always. There was something cooking in that man's brain all the time. But yeah, we were working on a couple different things. We put in the sewage system. Did you see that? Have you heard about that? Did Greystone tell you all about it?
Yeah. Actually, I did see the sewage system. I noticed that's part of why I'm here. I was in the basement of Kiirion's house and came upon a trap. Did you have anything to do with that? Do you know anything about that? Why he would have a trap down there?
Oh, no. By Greyhawk's beard, never. I did not think there would be any trap in the basement. I had nothing to do with that. What's that got to do with the sewer system?
Well, just past that trap, there was a door that led to the sewage system.
Oh, Lord. No, that's not me. No, I didn't do that.
Insight check?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it too.
16.
14.
Yeah, your insight. So while she's mixing up the potion, you feel like she's not lying to you or anything. She's not trying to be evasive. She is focused on what she's doing, but for the most part, she seems to be being honest about. She did work on the sewer, but not the trap or the entrance to the sewer from the basement.
So when you were building the sewage system with Kiirion, so I went down there and I came across a few carvings in the wall. Did you see any of those?
Some carvings down in the sewer system?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just north of town. The north end of the sewage system.
I do know. Are you talking about the carvings on the ground? The carvings that he was looking into, doing the researches on?
Well, there were carvings in the ground on the south side of town, but on the north side, I believe they were against the wall.
Yeah, I saw some of them. I let Kiirion handle all that, though. I did notice them, but the language was too old for me. I couldn't understand a single word of it.
Well, I mean, somebody who's able to make up a potion that can fight off poison, I would assume that maybe you should know a little bit more about that. Is that not the case?
What was your insight check from before?
16.
Okay. You do feel like she's starting to get a little bit more... she's starting to hold back a little bit more and not necessarily be as honest as she initially was. Yes, I do study some stuff, but I mean, some of those things are so old and there's so many languages for spells. I just couldn't make heads or tails.
I want to do something.
Okay, tell me about that potion while I collect my thoughts. And I'm gonna at that point, let somebody else take over questioning because I'm super close to casting a spell on this lady.
I'm ready to just be like, I don't know if I should. But I kind of want to. I'm going to reach into my pouch and I'm going to grab that hollow spell stone and I'm going to pull it out in front of her and be like, so it's my understanding that you had put the spell on this stone and it's supposed to be a powerful magic and what you're saying just isn't adding up right now.
Make a persuasion roll on this.
5.
Do you still have inspiration?
I do. 12.
12. Okay. No, a 12's gonna do it because she's taken aback by the fact that you have this spell stone. So her eyes fall on the spell stone and she quite visibly stops. She stops messing with the spell or the potion. She stops everything, but her eyes are just glued to the spell stone. And she says, "Where did you get that?"
It was left for me by my father.
Oh, isn't that sweet of him? Did you, have you looked at it yet?
Yeah, I know what it does.
Oh, well, okay. Yes, I did cast the spell on that stone.
So, do you know what the symbols down in the sewers mean on the wall that goes around the entire city or town?
I'm not sure what they mean, no. I know it's some sort of barrier spell. Kiirion was doing some research into it, some ancient languages. I do recognize hints of Elven script in there, though. It's older than the Elven that I know, but it's definitely ancient stuff, not to be trifled with.
Yeah, so I imagine you figured out the right order of everything.
Yeah.
Where it starts and ends?
I think so. Give me a second. She stops grinding up some stuff and pours some powder into the potion and then puts a lid on top of the bowl that she was mixing it in and walks over and opens up a drawer and pulls out a piece of paper. That's like a stack of paper. Mm-hmm. Brings it over and sets it on the table, rifles through a few of them and pulls one out and says, "It looks like the 32 runes repeat. It goes around the entire city. Makes like a perfect circle, I'm pretty sure. It looks really ancient. But from my estimations and from my workings with Kiirion, here's the circle around the city you can see. It cuts right into Mount Ovyck even. It's a much bigger circle than what you might think. The cave system gets tricky once you're in there."
What do you mean tricky?
Like you travel farther than you think you do in the amount of time that it takes you to get from point A to point B. So the distance is a little bit harder to measure just by walking. You gotta kind of figure it out by walking about the same elevation you'd think you were in the mountain. It took us a while to figure it out. The circles just never made sense. Kiirion's the one who actually figured out the math on it, but he needed bigger dig sites and bigger reference points for the rest of the circle.
Was there anybody else working on it other than Kiirion? And you?
Not that he told me about.
Do you know anything about the summoning circle?
Which one?
You tell me.
Yeah, Kiirion had me install 2 of them. One into the cave and one back from the cave to the house. That way he could go home and then quickly teleport from one area to another. It was a bit tricky, very complex. Took me quite a bit of time to do.
One in the cave and one in his house?
Yeah.
There's not any other ones?
Not that I know of.
The 2 stones that we have, do they look different?
Yeah, the 2 stones that you have, one has a rune that matches the symbol that was on the basement floor, and then one has a rune of the smaller teleportation circle that's in the cave, but neither of them match the really large teleportation circle, like that portal circle, the spherical one that you found in the cave.
Okay. So the symbols that you used for the summoning circles, we found a 3rd summoning circle, but it doesn't match the symbols on the 2 that you just described.
I promise you I don't know anything about that. I mean, I could take a look at it with you if you want. If you want to take me to where it's at.
Who asked you to make this anti-poison potion?
It was Brasskeen's idea. He said he was concerned about a couple of people got knocked out, fell asleep, something. I don't know.
That makes sense because there were some Zill that showed up at Timorin's farm and attacked people. But it wasn't just Zill. There were also chasms. What do you know about chasms?
I only know what Brasskeen's told me about the creatures that have come out. They're just fierce, awful creatures. Horrendous.
You didn't... Emery, I'm sorry. I know that you're a lovely person, and I don't mean for this to come out as accusatory. But, I mean, you are powerful, intelligent, just an all-around amazing woman. Wouldn't you ask more questions about the monsters to see if you could help in a better way?
I made some attempts to help with some stuff earlier. I made some wizard's fire that we put out there, but a lot of my stuff that I can do is kind of destructive in nature, and Greystone was concerned that I might burn up Terranil's farm or house or damage something a little bit more important than Timorin's property. They figured the danger of 1 Zill versus 7 or 8 gods wasn't as really bad as it needed to be. It wasn't until the chasms came 2 days ago that really we started looking at doing more stuff with the magics.
Okay, that's understandable.
How's this fire of yours work? Like, how do you put it out? Like, I mean, how do you ignite it?
Oh, well, the wizard's fire, it's she walks over to a little bench and pulls out this little ball of glass. And this ball of glass, it's got 2 components in it, 2 different types of liquid, one on the left side, one on the right. If you throw it and the liquids combine, they explode into a ball of fire. Yeah, it really hurts the things. I mean, it hurts a lot of things. You got to be very careful with it.
Is there something similar to it that it's like a powder?
Not that I'm aware of. We can take a look and see.
Well, did you hear about the stands that got burned up?
Oh.
They were hit with some kind of powder.
Oh, I heard there was a fire going on with it, but I didn't realize there was a powder. What happened with that?
It got put out, but I just didn't know if you knew what caused that.
I mean, if you're just talking about a combustible powder, I could make a combustible powder, one that if you threw threw it at a fire, it would explode. That's doable.
Oh, okay. So what they had out there, how much of the wizard's fire did you give them?
Well, I gave them 6 total. I've got 3 left here. I was already working on some new batches this morning before I switched over to the anti-poisons.
You gave who 6? Brass
I
Cane?
gave Brass Cane 6. Yep.
I was right about the powder, though, right? Like asking Meta, wasn't it some kind of powder? Okay.
Yeah, there was a powder that was dropped on the stands.
And then lit fire.
Yeah. Well, there were torches on the stands already.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Okay. We should probably ask her what she knows about the relationship between Kiirion and Timorin and Greystone. Yeah. Or if she knows of anyone else that he worked diligently with, like he did her. Or what do y'all think?
Well, now I don't trust Brass Cane.
I already wasn't trusting him. That's why I tasked him with Cody and
Well,
Emery, this powder. Did you make this before? Have you given this to anyone else?
I mean, if we're just talking about a combustible powder, I mean, yeah, several people in the town have it. We use it for fire starters during the winter, so you don't have to try and work with wet wood, that sort of thing.
Anyone purchase any recently, or?
Well, I would say probably Brass Cane has purchased some recently, for out by the farms and stuff to keep the torches going all night. And then also, I think, I did sell some up to the temple. Telmika came by and grabbed some, but they have candles lit there all the time and fires burning to Greyhawk. You know how that is. The religious types.
Yeah. I got a question for you, Emery. How long have you lived here?
You can tell Emery's trying to mull it over, but something in her head is just kind of setting her a little off balance. Pretty much since I've been a little gal. Years now, right? Years. I couldn't put a specific number on it, but it's been a good while. Well, I was here when you were born, so how old are you now?
216 years old.
All right, so at least 216 years. But I lived here for a little whiles before you was born.
All right. What about? Have you noticed anything off recently? Other than the stuff we've just talked about. If you noticed anybody acting weird, acting strange.
Anything weirder than your father dying, monsters attacking the town, Timorin and Greystone fighting it out? No, things have been normal around here. Of course things are weird. There's a giant monster in the storehouse right now. Every time I go to get supplies, I think, ugh, it's in there. What am I going to do about it? Nothing. It's weird.
So I was looking at the map. So these 3 houses are empty. I've never known anybody to live in them. Why did y'all hook the sewer system or entryways into the sewer system there?
Sweetie, I think they're just on the outside of town. Your father owned those properties. They were easy for him to manage and able to get, the systems hooked up through that. We didn't have to bother any of the other townsfolk,
Yeah.
You try going into Ruby's house and say, Ruby, I want to hook something up to the sewer. Give me access to your cellar. Ruby's going to throw a conniption. You know what I mean.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Fuck. I don't know anything else to ask right now.
The only thing really left to ask, unless Chris has anything, is if she knows if Kiirion was working with anyone else on something before he passed away, and to take her to the summoning portal.
Yeah.
Well, she said she didn't know about the big one.
But she also offered to.
She said she would take a look at it with us, though.
I don't know if that's a great idea. I don't know. I think we've got all the information we're going to get from her. I think we need to... So, Brasscane has the powder that made the watchtowers explode. And Telmika came and bought some. And it might be for completely innocent reasons to keep the candles and such going. But, I mean, the candles would just burn down to a certain point, and then they'd have to replace them anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So they wouldn't put the powder on the candles.
Yeah.
Because then they would have to be magical candles to not melt all the wax away.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got magical candles, why would you need the powder?
That also gives Bastille access to the powder.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not trusting Brasscane because he betrayed my trust.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of want to go to the city guard and see if anybody's not in there. And if they're not, sneak in there and see if we find any big stash of powder. I don't know. Maybe we can find something. But I could be way off. So
now you do remember the city guard is, I mean, it's a decent sized building, but most of the stuff for the city guard like that would probably be held at his specific room in the storehouse.
Oh, okay.
Where they keep like the spare weapons and random things that the city guard would need for city guard stuff.
Yeah. Emery.
Yes, sweetie. What's up?
Did you make more than one stone for teleporting back and forth between these portals? Other than the one for each one, did you make any more beyond that?
Well, no. I just made the one stone for each.
Okay.
Do I need to roll another insight check to see if that's true?
No, it's true. Your 16 is
Okay.
still holding true. Your insight check was good. I'm not going to make you guys roll it over and over again. You were just successful.
That's really concerning, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because if someone isn't using a portal to go in, Emery, have you done the portal thing before? How did you know it was going to work?
Well, I've read it in a book, several books, and then I did make a portal for myself. I put one in my own house, but after a little while, I didn't really like it. I wasn't walking as much, and I really needed to get my steps, so I just went ahead and dissolved that portal.
What book?
Oh, you want to borrow it? Give me just a second. 1 minute.
Yeah.
And she goes and gets a book about teleportation circles.
Okay. Has anybody else borrowed this book?
No. I think you are the first to get it.
Cool. I mean, yeah, Baya is going to open the book up. Is there like dog ears or anything?
No dog ears, but there is some writing on the inside of the book. Make a perception check to see if you can identify whose writing it is.
I'm going to be looking over her shoulder at the book.
Yeah, I would say all three of you would
21.
probably see. Okay.
26.
19. Yeah.
All right, so all three of you. Jeez. Okay. You recognize there are a few different handwriting styles from a few different people, but you immediately recognize Kiirion's handwriting towards the bottom of one of the pages that you opened up to. But towards the top of that same page, there are notes around an incantation, footnotes, in Telmika's handwriting.
That bitch.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Ethereal Embrace, and a Fool's Quest production. Vartan the Furbog Fighter is voiced and played by Adam Culbertson. Baya Rustin, the half-elf sorcerer, is voiced and played by Tisha. Ovyck, the Tiefling Cleric, is voiced and played by Chris Johnson. And I am Nico, your GM. Please remember to drop us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcatcher. Music provided in part by Midnight Syndicate, makers of the original Dungeons & Dragons soundtrack. If you would like to follow us on social media or say hello to the cast, details on where to find us will be in this episode's notes. Remember, be safe, we love you all, and stay foolish.